Hello friends, I am going to show you how to make Lactobacillus Reuteri yogurt. So I was watching a video that Dr. Berg put together with Dr. William Davis, and Dr. William Davis wrote this book called Super Gut. And what he discovered was the fact that many of us, like 95% of us, do not possess the microbe called Lactobacillus Reuteri. That often the medication and especially antibiotics, even as young children, kill off this necessary bacteria that's in our gut. So, the antibiotic kills both the good and the bad bacteria. And we need that bacteria in order to digest well. But what Dr. Davis found is that we need to make yogurt with this. We could introduce this bacteria back into our gut by making a yogurt. But the problem is, in order to get it enough of this bacteria back into our gastrointestinal system, we need to cook it for quite a little while, 36 hours. And then we need to eat about a half cup a day. I have not yet read the book, but I will tell you that I've been making this yogurt for roughly 5 weeks, and it has helped me so much. So I just want to show you how I do it. I'm going to be reading the book this coming week, so I will learn more. But just as a starter, this is what I do. You take and these are the things that are recommended. They're all in the video that I will include from Dr. Berg. And we use the Reuteri from Oxysutrix. It's not cheap, but the great part is that you can, after using a capsule and making your first thing of yogurt, you can get like 2 tablespoons of the yogurt that you've made and make another batch. I have not done that yet, but I will after I read the book. Anyway, and then you also use this inulin. Now there are other things that you can use besides, this is one that you really need, but there are other different kinds of prebiotic fiber that you can use. And you can also use something besides half and half. I use the organic stuff. You can use like coconut milk, but again, that's something that you're going to need to research for yourself. But we started by taking 1 capsule, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to do this. Yeah, I won't be able to, but you pour it into, there's a little bit of water, distilled water that I've got in here. About, a half a cup. And what you do is you just sprinkle that capsule, open it up, sprinkle it in there. And then you take about a tablespoon of this, and you slowly, and I mean ever so slowly, put it into the water along with the Reuteri. And the reason that you do it slowly is because it wants to like clog up a little bit. So I don't know if I'll be able to show you that, but I'll show you the finished product so you can, it really is very simple to make. It just takes a little bit of time to mix that inulin in there. And I'll be back in a second. Okay, the recipe that Dr. Berg calls for 2 tablespoons of the inulin, however you pronounce that. But then he backed off and said only that 1 tablespoon would be enough. So that's what I use, is just 1 tablespoon. And then after you get this mixed up, which, you sprinkle it ever so slowly into the bowl. You just basically pour in your half and half, or whatever you choose to use, whether it's coconut milk, or there are other things that people use. And other people also use like an Instant Pot, or they use a sous vide to make their yogurt. This particular unit is one that Dr. Berg uses, and there's a link to it in his video, and I'll include it in mine too. But I would really recommend that you watch his video, because Dr. Davis is on there. He interviews Dr. Davis, and he gives it in a much greater length about how important it is, this particular bacteria is, to reintroduce back into your system, along with other different kinds of microbes that could be helpful to those who have gastrointestinal issues. But I have found this to be like incredibly helpful. So the next step you'll see me is pouring it into the bowls. Now, one of the things that's really important about this is to make sure that everything is sterilized really well. So I put it through, I run all my bowls and stuff through the dishwasher. And that, it makes it, it's pretty hot in there. But this particular yogurt maker, I always hit it with a little bit of 1.5% hydrogen peroxide. And all I do is take a 3%, fill half of it up, and then the rest of it with distilled water to give you your 1.5%. Great stuff, very mild, is non-toxic, and sterilizes everything. So I've done that with the inside of this. Now what I'm going to do is put the lids on, and the way I do that is put it, I mean, it's really hard to put lids on, and then I just burp it a little bit, and I leave it open. It just needs a little bit of air. I do that with both of them. Okay, and then I just burp it, and then I leave it open, and then I put them in here, but it's going to take 2 hands, of course. One of the important things to do is to fill up this particular container up to the 1/2 line with water. So I'm going to do that right now. Thankfully I have a thing that stretches over, and you can see it filling ever so slowly. I'll get it up to the 1/2 line, and there we are. Okay, so it's up to the 1/2. Don't forget that step. And then all I do is I put this lid on it. All right, we set the temp for 99 degrees. We set the timer for 36 hours. And off we go. So I feel like one of those, you know, Julia Childs or whatever, because I already have a finished product right here. So this is basically Greek yogurt, because I run it through this screen, and you can see all the whey down here. My dogs absolutely love it. I pour it in their bowl. They love the whey, but it just makes it into a Greek yogurt. And then what I do for flavor, because it seems like it's a little bit more sour than regular plain yogurt, but I make this elderberry syrup, and it's got all the vitamins and flavonoids and wonderful things in it. And that recipe I'll include in this video in the description box under where if you click more, there'll be a link to that particular recipe and a video of me making it. But this stuff is so good, like maybe a tablespoon or 2. You just use like a 1/2 cup, pour some of this over that, mix it up, and it's really delicious. I like it. If you like yogurt, you'll like this. Anyway, that's how I make the Lactobacillus Reuteri yogurt. And if I can do it, anybody can.